Hey guys, welcome in. I am flying solo this edition. Hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. This is episode 214 of the Outspoken Network here. Your host, Brian. We got football is back, baby. It's simply football is back. We got the college football week one took over this weekend. Hope you had some time to watch the games. I'm sure you did. As we had some good games. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with the NCAA, and then we start off week one of the NFL, starting Thursday night football with the Lions visit the Chiefs. We'll get into the NFL picks, my NFL picks of the week as well, and hope you guys are excited about football as I am. I'm sure you are. And I'm sure you all know that I'm a Green Bay fan, and we'll go over some questions I got for some different things and just talk about nothing but football. Um, NCAA started off this last weekend, and there's been a lot of talk with Colorado and Deion Sanders. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Obviously, USC with Caleb Williams being the next Patrick Mahomes, if you will. You have a lot of the rearranging of college teams, so you're going to be playing different teams. You're going to have Texas and Oklahoma and going over to the SEC and different things like that to make football a little interesting and see what happens here. We Ohio State dominated Indiana 23-3. Ohio State probably should have dominated a little bit more there because Indiana is not a very good football team. Alabama took care of business. You had a lot of games that were big blowouts week one, not a lot of big matchups. You had, Penn State number 7. I didn't expect Penn State to be in the top 10. Apparently, they're a better football team than I thought they were coming into this year. They won 38-15. You go down, Texas dominates Rice. Tennessee wins. There wasn't a whole lot of upsets. There was an upset last night when number 9 Clemson lost to Duke. We'll get into that here in a little bit as well. But my main game I wanted to watch was going to be the TCU Colorado. Not only am I a TCU fan, right? So that's obviously why I want to watch it. A lot of question marks on what we're going to be this year coming into the season after we lost a bunch of big players to NFL last year. We lost Max Duggan, our quarterback. We lost our best running back. We lost D. Winters in the defensive backfield. We lost a lot of great players, so it's interesting to see where we're going to be. We come in when we get the unfortunate draw of playing Colorado, Deion Sanders' team, and they showed up, man. There is nothing else to say. Colorado showed up to play. Sanders, the quarterback, had 510 passing yards, 4 touchdown passes, and they just went off. They had a good game against us. The first half was a little slow. That both teams picked up in the second half. TCU and them, they were back-to-back scoring back and forth, and just an absolute – Colorado looks like an absolute beast of a team. Now everyone's wanting to crown Deion and crown all these guys. It was one game. I'm not gonna sit here and crown anybody yet. It was one game of the season, but they looked really well. Sanders threw 510, like I said, school record. He threw 4 touchdowns. You had their two-way player Xavier Hunter, or Travis Hunter, 11 receptions for 119 yards. He played 129 snaps this game. Absolute beast of a performance. He had an interception, made a great play. He was making plays left and right. This guy's the absolute beast. Never seen anybody since Deion Sanders pretty much do what he's doing out there, where he's playing wide receiver and he's playing cornerback at the same time. So very talented there. The running back played well. TCU wise, I mean, 279 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They rushed the ball really well, and they got away from that in the fourth quarter. I think it's kind of what hurt them a little bit. They felt the pressure to throw the ball more from what I was seeing. But they had a good rushing attack. Their defense was not there. They didn't have the defense just didn't show up. But Colorado getting the job done. They're now in a ranked position, so we'll see what they do when they face some harder, some a bit more difficult of a football team. And they play Nebraska this week, coached by Matt Rule, coming from the NFL. I think Colorado probably wins that. It's his first homecoming in Colorado. But Deion Sanders has already done what he's promised to do for Colorado. He's getting people to come watch. Just him coaching gets people to come watch. This was TCU's biggest sellout crowd ever. It set records, and they've come to see TCU, but they've also come to see Deion Sanders. So even on the road, he's bringing people to the games. So it'll be interesting to see how that home field advantage next week and how loud they're going to get this next weekend being at home for Deion Sanders. So that's going to be interesting to see. I'm interested to see them play some really good teams. I don't know their schedule. I have to pull it up here in a little bit, but I believe they play. I don't know if they play Alabama. They play some top 5 teams this year, so it's be interesting to see that. Now, I told you I was going to have a little bit of a disappointment. I kind of posted a little bit of video on it, but this is college football. You don't have an NFL this last Sunday or Monday, and you throw out some games Saturday. The Saturday night there was not really any good football games on. No big top 10 versus another top 10 team. So then Sunday comes around. You got Oregon State versus San Jose State, 18 versus unranked team. They blow them out 42-17. Nothing. You have to wait till the LSU Florida State game. Number 5 LSU goes to Florida State and gets manhandled. Florida State 45-24. They manhandle LSU. And then you come over to Monday, and they give us Clemson Duke. I'm sorry, but no one really wants to watch Duke unless you're watching basketball. Okay, when it comes to college sports. Now, look, they did pull the upset, but even the upset, 28-7, Clemson was lethargic, did not show up. Duke gets the upset here and wins the game. Someone I posted it last night. And someone said, "Hey, this Clemson Duke game is actually good." It's 7-6 at halftime. This is not a good football game. But I'm just saying, you had an opportunity. Hey, let's showcase these great matchups while we're not competing with the NFL. Let's put them on Sunday night. Let's put them on Monday, and you give us these games that I'm going. You could have done better. You could have done better matchup wise to give us some more entertainment. But I guarantee people still watch them because it's the only glimpse of football we have at this moment. So just could have been better. North Carolina surprised me. They're in the top 25. Oklahoma smashed Arkansas State. Kansas State took care of business. Oregon took care of business. Notre Dame took care of business. Not a lot of upsets. USC took care of business. Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and all those top teams, they took care of business. And let me pull up the top 25 here because the rankings came out, I believe, today, and let's see, you got Georgia, Michigan, Alabama. Those are your top 3. Florida State moves all the way up to number 4 from the 8th spot. That's good for them. They played a really good ball game on the other night. Played really good. Ohio State won, but they dropped from 3 to 5. They didn't come out and dominate a weaker team like they should have. USC stays where they're at. Penn State stays where they're at. Washington moves up to 8 from number 10. Tennessee moves up to number 9. Interested to see where they're at if they lost their big quarterback, Hooker, in the draft. You got Notre Dame moved up from 13 to 10. There's a lot of hype. Notre Dame's always hype. They'll fall off before too long. Texas stayed where they're at. Utah moved up from 14 to 12. Oregon went up from 15 to 13. LSU dropped from 5 to 14. That's going to be the biggest drop we'll see. Surprised they're there. You move on down here. North Carolina is number 17. Oklahoma moved up 2 spots, number 18. Wisconsin 19. Ole Miss number 20. Duke at number 21. They were not ranked, so they're number 21. And then you got Colorado at 22. They weren't ranked. Now they're at 22, and everyone's going to be watching Colorado with the playmakers they have, how well they perform this first week. Deion Sanders is a walking billboard of speeches, um, of speaking, and gets his team motivated. But people are going to be watching what Deion Sanders has to say. And you got Texas A&M 23, Tulane, um, number 24, and sorry, Clemson's the biggest drop. Clemson dropped from number 9 to number 25. They're still hanging in there barely, week 1. So we'll see how this pans out and going forward into the season. But football's back. Deion says we're legit, and but he said he told us, excuse me, he was coming. He told us they were coming, but we'll see. We'll see how they plan out. Let me look up Colorado's schedule here because I'm interested to see. They got some big teams coming. They've got some big teams coming up, so I'm interested to see what they got. They beat TCU. They got Nebraska. They play Colorado State, which should be easy. Oregon at 13 comes in September 23rd. USC will be their biggest matchup right now. I mean, Oregon is a pretty good competitor. USC number 6, that'd be a big upset if they're able to take them down. You got Utah State or Utah later on down the road. You got Oregon State. So they play some pretty competitive football teams here. They're not playing. They're not just gonna go through the season not playing anybody. And look, like I said, they beat TCU. TCU was a really good football team last year. They came in this year ranked number 17, not knowing what we're going to be, and I had no clue we were going to be because we lost so many people. But Colorado handled the business. I was a little upset with how the matchups they gave us for those Saturday night and Sunday night, Monday games because they could have been better. But football's back, so I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much. All right, guys. Well, NFL is here. We on Thursday night. It's Tuesday night, and we got two more days, and we're able to turn on and watch some NFL. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited for that. That makes me excited. Be able to stay up and watch this Thursday night football game. There's a lot of questions going into the season with a lot of different teams for different, and we'll get into those here in a little bit. A little scary situation here for the Chiefs. During practice, Travis Kelce, their tight end, hyperextends his knee. That's not good news. That's obviously not good news. He's one of the big playmakers. He's probably the best tight end in the NFL. I don't know if anybody gets this better than him. The ACL's intact, so he's not going to be missing a whole season. He probably will miss some time, though. They'll test it again. The thing is they play Thursday. It's not like they get a longer rest period till Sunday or Sunday night or even Monday night. They play Thursday night, so they're going to test it. I don't think it'd be smart to risk it, right? I don't think it's smart to risk it. It's week 1 of the opener, or week 1. You got a long season to go. I don't think he plays week 1, but I could be wrong, right? Maybe they do play him, but I think they're going to be. I think they're better for them to be cautious. We still don't know if Joe Burrow is going to play week 1. There's been a lot of talks that he won't play week 1. Not very optimistic from the head coach, but is this just a reason for just trying to confuse people and not really tell them and hide the fact that he is playing? Cooper Kupp, seeing specialist with his hamstring injury, so it looks like he's going to miss some time there in LA. So some heavy hitters going to be missing some time. Like Joe Burrow, Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp. Those are big. It's going to could affect some seasons. So could affect the teams. So Well, let's look at the schedule here. Um, like I said, Thursday night football. We talked about it before. The Lions are a team this year that could be better than expected, right? Dan Campbell had them playing really well last year. They I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they played a lot of games where um, they only lost by one score. One, they were only lost by a couple points, one score games here and there, and they were so close to winning these games, but they didn't. And that this year they might go over the hump. What better way to come into Kansas City Thursday night football in front of everybody watching the opening game and beat the Chiefs? That would be one heck of a way to say, "Hey guys, we're here. We're on the map. Dan Campbell's here." But I don't think that's going to happen. Um, that's pretty ballsy to pick the Lions over the Chiefs. That would be pretty ballsy. Um, and look, the NFL is entertaining because it's football, right? But it's also entertaining because it's very hard to guess what's going to happen year to year. It's very hard to know and predict who's going to win, who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to be good. Teams teams come out of the woodwork every year to make the playoffs and more competitive than most people would think. So, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this one because I just don't know if the Lions have enough to take care of business. It's Patrick Mahomes. Now maybe Travis Kelsey doesn't play, which I don't think he's going to, and then you see the Lions maybe take advantage of that. And but I'm not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes opening night at home to open the season. Give me the Chiefs to win this game. Um, I do like Dan Campbell. Look, I'm a Packers fan, but I do like Dan Campbell, and I think the Lions will be more competitive. I think Goff has had a good season last year, and I think they'll be competitive in this game. But I just think the Chiefs are way, way better than the Lions, and they're gonna hand the Lions their first loss of the season. Sunday, you got the Panthers traveling to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Divisional game here is to open up the season. Um, you have you have Bryce Young's first NFL start. It's gonna be Bryce Young's first NFL start. Atlanta, I couldn't even tell you who their quarterback is. This is a team that is got a lot of nobodies on them. They got rid of Marcus Mariota. They are, I believe, in tank mode. Their draft pick boggled my mind when they took the running back this year, because that running back is a piece when you're headed in the right direction, or you're close to winning a Super Bowl, or close to being competitive, and Atlanta's just not there. Now, there's a lot of changes coming to Carolina. You have the new head coach, you have the rookie quarterback. Is this going to be Bryce Young's first win on the road against a divisional opponent? Um, this one's a 50-50 coin flip, because both these teams, in my opinion, are bad. Both these teams are bad football teams. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Panthers on this one. Give me Bryce Young on the road to win this one. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a 3-point, maybe a field goal. The matchup says the Atlanta Falcons are probably going to win this one, probably just because they're at home. You've got, I don't know who this Logan Woodside, is that the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons? No clue who that guy is. Never heard of him. So give me Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young coming out of college. I think he was the best pick in going there, and we'll see if he can pull it out. But I just feel like the Panthers are going to take this one. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the Panthers take this one. Bengals to the Browns. Now, this is a big question mark game because we don't know if Joe Burrow is going to be playing. And if Joe Burrow isn't playing, this changes the game, because Joe Burrow's playing. Bengals win this game all day. Every day is a divisional opponent. Maybe Deshaun Watson comes out and surprises us all. Maybe he does. Um, I just don't know. I just don't know. When teams aren't at their full strength, especially at the quarterback position, you have no clue what could go wrong. But I still got the Bengals winning this regardless if Burrow plays or not. I think their defense is good enough. They're a veteran team. They know how to get the job done. And I think with or without Joe Burrow, I think they still win the Super Bowl game. Jaguars travel to the Colts. Can they be? I'm looking for some consistency right out of the gate from the Jaguars. Last year, they 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 played around, and when we got to the second half of the season, they turned it on. Trevor Lawrence played a lot better. They came back and had a playoff win against the Chargers, and ended up ultimately losing. But Trevor Lawrence looked better. Now, this is the year to me that Trevor Lawrence has got to prove himself. Right, Trevor Lawrence came out of college football at Clemson looking like the next Peyton Manning, dubbed the next Peyton Manning. He hasn't lived up to that hype. Last year, he played really well in the second half of the season. He got him a friendly quarterback coach, and I think we're going to see better things from them this season. I think Jaguars take to go in there and they face the Colts, who have had a lot of turmoil this offseason, who refuses to pay, trade away the running back or pay the running back. He's not going to play a game for them, especially with how disrespectful the Colts owner has been. You got Anthony Richardson, which was a pretty big reach, in my opinion, in the draft. Well, where they took him, I don't think he's going to pan out all that well. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars take this game. You got Bucks traveling to Minnesota. You've got Baker Mayfield with his first start with a new team with Tampa Bay. They're replacing Tom Brady with Baker Mayfield. Doesn't sound very promising. You got Minnesota Vikings coming off a very good year last year. They won the division, but they ended up losing in the playoffs to the Giants, which I called them losing that game. And the Vikings defense last year was atrocious. They were able to score a lot of points, having one of the best wide receivers in the league in Jefferson, having one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and Kirk Cousins. And you can laugh at me saying that, but he is a top 10 quarterback. And they lost Adam Thielen. They drafted a wide receiver. We're going to see where they are on the offensive side. They lost Dalvin Cook. Is that going to hurt Kirk Cousins and keep this team down on the offensive side? We're going to have to see. I do believe that will hurt Kirk Cousins. I just don't know because Baker Mayfield – throughout his career in the NFL, has never had the same offensive coordinator. He played hurt his last year for the Cleveland Browns. He's the best quarterback Cleveland Browns had for years. They decided to get rid of him. Um, he leaves it out there on the field. I will say that. But I'm going to go with Minnesota winning this game. I think the Vikings take this one at home. If this was on the road, I might pick the Buccaneers. But since it's on the road, Baker Mayfield don't really know what he's going to be yet. Give me the Vikings at home. Titans and Saints. I think this one is going to be the Saints. Saints at home with the new quarterback in Derek Carr with a good defense. I think the Saints will take it. I think I'm not a big believer in the Titans. I think this will be the last year for Coach Rabel. I think he's done a good job. They just never got over that hump. Um, Tannehill is a one-hit wonder. He had that one really good year. He's an okay quarterback, and as long as you can stop the run of Derrick Henry, which that front up front for the Saints is very tough. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be going off. So I think the Saints win this one to open up Derek Carr's career there to finish off his career. 49ers travel to Pittsburgh. This one ought to be a good one. You got the return of Brock Purdy. What is he going to be? Is he going to be the same Brock Purdy we saw in the 8-game stretch? Or is he going to come and regress down to the means? Teams are going to have tape on him. So I'm interested to see what he can do. Is he going to come out and be that same team? Now, the 49ers are stacked. They still have great offensive weapons. They've got a great defense. They are stacked. The Steelers here, they have a good defense. Pickett looked to be a decent quarterback last year. I saw some things out of him I liked. I think Um, he's going to pan out there. They've got a good wide receiver for him out there, but I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one. I think it's going to be too much for Pickett to handle that defense. And Joey Bosa, I think he's playing, going to get to the quarterback. He's going to cause problems there. And this offense is just really good. This offense is really good. Um, they're great at running the ball. They're Shanahan's great at calling plays to kind of confuse the defense and make the plays and give me the 49ers. That's a tough one. That's a tougher one than I thought. My gut's telling me Steelers, but I'm going to go 49ers, and that might come back to bite me. I'm going to mention that right here. That might come back to bite me. I'm picking the Niners. My gut's telling me Steelers. Commanders and Cardinals. This is in Washington, and the only reason I'm going to say Commanders is because the Cardinals are on Team Tank. They got rid of Colt McCoy, the only veteran quarterback on the team. Don't really know who their starter is now. Their Team Tank for Caleb Williams out of USC next season. So if you're tanking for a quarterback next year, you're competing with the Arizona Cardinals. And I think the Commanders, if we went back a couple weeks ago and we asked about what I asked a question to Craig and Jeff about what um what team could be a surprise for you this season, and mine was the Commanders because if their quarterback is good, if Sam Howell is good, which we don't know what he's going to be. There's been rumors that he's a gem. He's a diamond in the rough there. Um, if he's somewhat decent, they have the talent around him. They got a pretty good defense. They got the offensive weapons that they could surprise us. I'm going with the Commanders here. Um, more than just the Cardinals and Team Tank. It's just the fact that I think if Sam Howell is somewhat decent, we've seen this team. They do have a talented roster. We'll see if they can get over that hump. Ravens at home against the Texans. Give me the Ravens all day here. Lamar Jackson going to come in. He's finally healthy, hopefully for the Ravens. His first game of the season. You're going to have you got the rookie quarterback. I can't think of his name. I'm terrible with names right now. CJ Stroud. You're going to have him. I'm not a big believer in Ohio State quarterbacks, but we'll see how he's going to do down there. I do like the head coach they picked up. I do like the defensive move they made as well as trading up to get the defensive lineman from Alabama. I just think the Ravens win at home and take that one. You got Packers, Bears. This one's a tough one for me because I'm a Green Bay fan. We've always owned the Bears. We got a lot of questions, obviously. Losing Aaron Rodgers, getting rid of him. We got some question marks. We're the youngest offense in the NFL or the cheapest offense in the NFL. And is that going to work? I don't know. You have a rookie kicker who could cost us games. You got a rookie punter who could cost us games. Our defense, Gary, we just found out Gary's not 100%. He's going to be on a snap count. He's our absolute beast on the outside. There's all this hype on Justin Fields and all this hype on the Bears this year. I could see them taking game one from us, but I'm going to go with Green Bay because I'm not a big believer in Jordan Love or Justin Fields. I'm not a big believer in Jordan Love either. Let me throw that out there. I'm not a big believer in Justin Fields. He was the 34th ranked passing quarterback last year, and there's only 32 starters. That's pathetic. He might have not had a football team. I don't care. That's still pathetic to rank that badly. He will rush the ball. We're going to have to contain him and make him throw the ball to beat us. I don't think the Bears win this game. Jordan Love, I'm not too high on Jordan Love, but I hope he proves me wrong. look, Aaron Rodgers came in his first year. We were bad. I go, man, I don't know. He turned out to be okay. Jordan Love, we got to give this guy a chance. Green Bay fans, give this guy a chance and go from there. I just don't know with what we have, the youngest team and the cheapest team, since we didn't go spend money on the offensive side of the ball. Um, that I don't know how that's going to pan out. I do think Jordan Love wins this game one for us against the Bears, and we win game one. You can tell me I'm wrong. There's a lot of hype. I don't get the hype on Justin Fields, and it's not just because I don't like the Bears. It's just because I've seen him. He doesn't throw the ball particularly well. He runs the ball well, but he doesn't throw the ball well. Raiders and Broncos. This one's tough for me because the Raiders have a new quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo, and Craig really loves Jimmy Garoppolo and says all he does is win. But I don't think all he does is win if he's been on multiple different teams. That being said, you got Broncos who have got to be better than last year because I don't think it can get much better, much worse than that. I think Sean Payton's come in there and whoop some butt, taking some names and change things around. I got the Broncos at home winning this one, and I'm not a big believer in Josh Daniels either as a head coach. Eagles go to New England to face the Patriots. Give me the Eagles. I do think Belichick will have some stuff up there to slow down Hurts. And on the defensive side of the ball, this is going to be a close game, one of those 3-point games. And the Patriots, those close games by 3 points, have usually in history panned out pretty well of winning those. But I just think the Eagles have too much on the defensive side, too much on the offensive side of the ball to match up with the Patriots. I think they match up really well with the Patriots, and I do think the Eagles steal the road win. Dolphins Chargers. This is going to be the game of the week right here, pretty much. Probably the best game on paper. I know sometimes those games they don't turn out too well, but Dolphins go on the road to the Chargers, and it's all the question marks on Tua Tagovailoa's health. If he can stay healthy, this team was really great last year. When he was healthy, when he wasn't, they weren't so great. Chargers last year coming off a disappointing season, losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs after giving up all that. They gave up the 21-point lead they had there and blew that. So this is the head coach's last chance. I believe he's coaching for his job this year with all the talent that they've given around him, the quarterback that they have. I do think the Chargers win this one in a slobber knocker, and I got the Chargers at home. That's why I'm picking them, because they're at home, winning this one by 3 points. You got Seattle at home against the Rams, divisional game here. Cooper Kupp probably not playing with that calf injury. Don't know what Stafford is. Don't know what Stafford is this year. There was rumors of them trying to trade him away last year. It didn't work out. He's stuck there. He coming off the arm surgery. So we'll see how it looks. They do have the better quarterback, but I don't think they win this one. Give me Seattle in this one. I think Geno Smith's going to have a decent game. He played really good last year. I think just being at home, them pounding the ball, I think they're going to take this one at home. You got Cowboys at the Giants Monday or Sunday Night Football. Giants, I do think, take a fall this year. I don't think they're as good as they were last season. The Dallas Cowboys, this is the Dak Prescott prove it year, right? I've said that last year as well, and he didn't do so hot last season. This defense is better. Micah Parsons is a beast. They added some weapons this year to help this team out. They did lose Zeke. I'm wondering how the rushing game is going to go. This is one where my head tells me Cowboys, my gut tells me Giants. I am going to take my gut here. I'm going to take the Giants at home, open the season. They got a lot to prove this year. The Cowboys, I think take a surprising loss week one, and Dak throws a couple interceptions, and I don't think they're on the same page yet with his new players. We'll see. I could be completely wrong. Like I said, my head told me to take Cowboys. My gut said take the Giants. I'm going with the Giants to win this one. The streak's got to end. The Dak Prescott's not going to beat the Giants forever. Give me the Giants to open up Sunday Night Football with a surprising win. And then you got a really good game Monday Night Football. Bills and Jets. You got Aaron Rodgers go at home with his new football team. You got Bills traveling to them on September 11th in New York. It's going to be an interesting, an emotional game on the September 11th in New York. This one's tough. This is literally a coin flip. I can flip a coin and go with the winner of this one. I got Bills winning this one on the road. I think there's still some things that Aaron Rodgers is going to have to work out with his new team. I like the head coach of the Bills a lot better than I do Robert Saleh. I like the defense of the Bills. Now, the Jets defense is pretty good, and they do have talent. Josh Allen's pretty hungry after last year's unsuccessful season. Um, that's not fair to say unsuccessful, but it's fair to say that they did not go as far as they wanted to, and they kind of fell off there at the end. So I think the Bills take one from the Jets, and I got the Bills winning this one. So I've got the Chiefs, the Panthers, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Saints, the Niners, the Commanders, the Ravens, Packers, Browns, or sorry, Packers, Broncos, Eagles, Chargers, Seahawks, Giants, and the Bills. Um, Come on here and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm asinine for picking the Giants over the Dallas Cowboys. Um, I went with my gut on that one. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. And you never know. Like those games that you think you're for sure going to be it end up costing you, right? You think this is going to pan out to be that way, and it ends up biting you in the butt. And that's what makes it fun each week. That's what makes the NFL so fun. You never know how they're going to be and how they're going to pan out. So I'm looking forward to week one. I'm going to be glued to the TV on Sunday night or Thursday night watching this game of Chiefs and Lions and get ready back for some football. And I know you guys are excited about it. I know you guys are super excited for football as we are here at the Outspoken Network here, excited to talk about football and everything. And obviously we got the baseball race going on. You got the Rangers playing the Astros, and bullpen gave it away last night. The bullpen was absolutely garbage last night, and we ended up losing that one big time. So sorry, my computer's being stupid right now. We ended up losing that one big time. The Rangers are playing. I believe they're playing right now, but we've got to win some games here against the. We've got to win some games against the Astros. Let me see the score here. I'm trying to pull on my computer, but it wouldn't work out. But we've got to. They play at 7:05. Cool. They play at 7:05. So I am gonna go watch that. Hopefully we win. We've got we've got to win these games. We can't be swept by the Astros. That might put it into us even having a chance to win this division. All right, guys, it's been an interesting weekend for me. I took my grill and I went down to Mineola, Texas, East Texas, about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from here. Took my grill, smoked some meat for my in-laws, and it was a success. They've called me the grill master now because the food was delicious, and I cooked a brisket, I cooked chicken, and I cooked the pork butt, and it all turned out really good. And so they told me like, hey, every get together, we need you to cook for us, and that's fine because I really enjoy smoking the meat. So um, I'm looking forward to football this week, like we just talked about, and we got that going on. I'm actually off of work all week, so it's nice to be able to be off work and take a little bit of breather from work and then the stresses of that. Craig's there dealing with it now. And if you didn't know that, me and Craig do work together, and we're actually both supervisors of our department. So If just in case you guys didn't know that, but we are, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But I'm not doing anything special. That trip was really it. We're gonna stay home. The kids start back to school tomorrow. They were off Monday, Tuesday for Memorial Day, and I'll be able to take them to school the rest of the week. It's something I don't get to do a lot, so I'm excited. Well, not really. They're excited for me to do that. I'm not really excited about it because I got to get up early. But and then we got football. I could take my daughter, fifth grade. She's in fifth grade. I could take her out to the football game Friday night to spend some time with her. They're going to run out with the football team, and I'm going to take her out to dinner and have a good time with her. And then they're doing pizzas with dads Thursday night to school. So just a lot of time spending time with the kiddos and their school and doing things like that. And then we got the TCU tailgate this Saturday night as well. It's gonna be fun. And then wrap it up on Sunday with some football. And before I go back to work. But all right, guys. Well, that's the episode tonight. We're going back to 2 episodes a week now that football is starting. We got a lot to talk about and get into. We're going to still keep up with the baseball race as well, and much more as other sports to take place. As hockey's going to continue getting ready to start pretty soon. Excuse me. So is the NBA. All right, guys. God bless, and remember to keep it outspoken.